Hello everyone, our team is global. Our job is to share information to people. If you are fans a famous race, do not miss videos.
Talk about fashion. Fashion is an indispensable part of today's era. Fashion is how people express themselves through clothing values as well as brand value.
Fashion change rapidly at a specific time according to the trend of the time, thereby forming the famous and the luxury brand. So do you know which country tend to create the luxury brand? And now today we are taking you to two countries where the famous brands are born, and follow us to see which country will be mentioned. Let's go!
The famous brands that I talk about below are well known by young people in particular and people in general. Let's take a look at these brands. The first is Coco Chanel. Gabrielle Coco Chanel is possibly the most searched name in the world right now in the term of fashion. This brand attacked the fashion market by revolutionizing the check canvas like a hurricane sweeping in the market. Today, Chanel is also famous for its trendy clothes. Number 2 is Hermes. Hermes was originally a luxury goods manufacturer, founded by Thierry Hermes in 1837. These days, Hermes produces designer clothes, styling accessories, and expensive perfume lines. The brand also introduced the first women's and men's ready-to-wear collection in 1960. Silver fabric also from Hermes are favored by many celebrities around the world. Next is Louis Vuitton, popularly known by the name LV. This French fashion house has been named after its founder Louis Vuitton. Founded in 1854, Louis Vuitton specialized in the design of luxury leather goods, clothing, and footwear. This $25.9 billion fashion brand is considered the best in the world and is loved by many fashionistas such as Jennifer Lopez and Madonna.
One of the world's oldest town and most cosmopolitan fashion house, easily recognizable by fashionistas with its intelligent to dream monogram. The last of the House of Gucci independent after nearly a century when the brand philosophy and high-class customer orientation are still maintained. Along with the fashion products that has become the flagship of the brand, the spirit of Sepultura's intelligence culture also breathed life into Gucci, the vitality of the new era. The Gucci brand is not only high fashion, but also a symbol of Europe in general and a pillar of intelligent culture. The fashion philosophy is taught by expeditions, rated by cutting-edge sewing technique, artistic inspirations bring the spirit. The generally elitist is the fatal attractions with inspirations of colors, materials, and ideas are represented mythical art. Versatility are earned by ins unspoiled beauty may even the most influential woman in the world, longing and infatuated. High-end fashion trend Dolce & Gabbana was founded in 1985 by designer couple Domenico Dolce and Stefano Gabbana. Intelligent fashion style in the spirit of Dolce & Gabbana's absolute personality, tenderness, humanity, were feeling and full of happiness, made people fall in love with the ancient beauty of the Italian countryside. It's not natural that France is currently the capital of the world. This is 30 truths of typical fashion trends. The credit of many fashion trends, unlike the hot, modern beauty of America, the luxury beauty of England, France fashion brings a gentle and elegant beauty. Milan is one of 4 information fashion capitals in the world. The city where the key fashion week takes place next to London, New York, and Paris. If Londoners dress in ancient time, the New Yorker are liberal and modern. Parisians are simple and very luxurious. Then Milanese has the most sophisticated, aristocratic, and elegant style. Though at the reason that Paris is entirely changed to luxury fashion trend that are always sought after by countries around the world.
This driver, 24%. This group is the youngest group surveyed and ranged in age from 18 to 34. Men make up more than 58% of the group, and the majority are from the middle to upper class. This group is most likely driven by social media influencers, family members, and TV shows. Besides, they consider luxury items as proof of their success. The trendsetter, 16%. This group is the same age as drivers. They are the most multicultural consumer and are also likely to be influenced by their social media influencers, shopping websites, and social media friends. For this group, luxury sets them apart from the crowd. The athletes, 17%. This group ranges from 18 to 54 and has the highest percentage of female of all groups, with annual incomes of $100,000 to $150,000 or more. This group purchasing decisions mostly come from the brand website, online reviews, and online search. For this group, luxury is the pinnacle of the best, the best group with high standard, 23%. This group has more than 26 of consumers aged 65 and over. Their annual income range from $75 to $150,000. They are more likely to be influenced by such only reviews and recommendations from friends. Luxury must represent unsurpassed quality and service for the only past crowd. Finally, the comfort first, 19%. This group has the highest proportion of people aged 65 and over among all groups. When it comes to income, 35% have an annual income of $150,000. This group is more likely to be influenced by online reviews and brand websites. Luxury is the most desirable way of life for this group. It can be said that Generation Z today is greatly influenced by social networks and influential people in art and fashion. They tend to imitate their idols. Besides, young people also have the mentality of expressing themselves through expensive clothes and consider it a measure of success and
As we know, the country has tended to produce the most luxury and expensive brand as well as the constant. We have to study and maintenance about luxury and desirable brand can also include categories such as the customer, salary, and many others. Besides, we also have the supercars that are also one of things that create a strong trend for the airlines.
There are many ways to calculate how many supercar a country has. Looking at the sale data of the different car manufacturer, auto dealer, and car return service to see what they sold tell us the average number of import cars sold the past years, a specific period of time.
There are many car manufacturers a day. Even so, the fact that the country produces a lot of cars does not mean have a highest car consumptions. Countries famous all over the world in production, world-class supercars as Italy or Germany, have been so decreased compared to 2 years ago. There are two countries that are very extremely notable in terms of car consumption.
Now, let me introduce you to the country with the most famous and luxurious brand. Furthermore, we sought to find out when supercars were also considered as the one of the luxury item of the airlines, which the people often have a hobby, such as collecting on the kind of car. Expensive items they want to show off their worth and simply satisfy their passions, from which the kind of pencil items in the supercars is one of their favorite things. To keeping up with the market trend, innovators have seized the opportunities to create products that meet the customer needs. They create a highly brand, of course, brand are around and faster than ever. On the one hand, this gives the customer a feeling of being satisfied with their shopping needs for a big and a luxury brand good. On the other hand, they create a separate empire for the each type of the product and put on it the different levels, the global structure. At the topics I will cover next, which the country are embracing the market trend in the supercar. Next is of us also knows somewhere global supercars company, cars such as Mercedes-Benz of the Germany, Koenigsegg of the Western, Lamborghinis of Italy, and many other expensive brands. However, I will mention Germany. When it comes to Germany, in addition to the Asian colors, beer sources, Germany is also famous on the automobile industry. This is already the hometowns of the many top famous luxury brands in the world. To be able to successful and develop strongly in the motor technology industry in the addition to the element of the inheriting valuable heritage. German Germans also have intelligent steering heads work. So Germany had become the cradle of the many famous luxury car brands around the world. The German car companies are very important with the dominant and the forget customers, in which Vietnam here top German car manufacturers that are very popular with the Vietnamese people are true to buy popularity. Germany is considered a leader in the trend of a global famous brand, and those are the high value brands in the market. What do some car manufacturers in Germany include? Among the German car manufacturers, the Mercedes-Benz is the most famous car company moreover. The Mercedes-Benz has also become the leading car brand with the total car sale in the world in a luxury car segment. This is also one of the first car company in the world to still exist and flourish for the Vietnamese people. The Mercedes-Benz is already a famous name for the many car lovers. So the next we have the Audi cars. Uh, the Audi cars was forest in 1909 by the Mr. August Horst and is the headquarters in the Innenstadt, Germany. This is a subsidiary of the largest automotive group in the world. We also have BMW, Porsche, or Volkswagen coming to the country that tend to create the most desirable, expensive luxury brand. This is impossible to ignore. Italy's famous luxury fashion brands around the world are sought after and chosen by many people. This is also the dream of the many fashionistas, but not everyone can reach it. This is also one of the countries that is at the forefront of trend, from the fashion to expensive supercar brand that can come in like always be cheerful. Freak ignore here, especially when it comes to the brand that catches with the trend of the creating luxury goods and the leading in Italy. It is impossible to ignore their supercar brand. Referring to Italy, people often think of the pizzas, the leaning towers of the same name, spaghetti, creamy, and the most especially the fastest, the most beautiful, and the most expensive supercar in the world. So, how modern or the Italian car company Italian car brand is still attract customers around the world, especially in the Vietnam, with very high demand of the ownership. Italians make a car brand have incredible quality and design. They work with the best engineer in the world. It's easy to see why more Italian luxury sports cars are also popular. Why not as cheap as French or technically strong Germans? Italians know how to make the beautiful cars, and we have the following five notable brands. The most we have the Lamborghini car. The Lamborghini is the super luxury cars brand founded by Mr. Ferruccio Lamborghini. This car company does not have a factory in Vietnam, so its products are often imported CPOs to our country. This is also the globally popular car that most people dream and know about. Yeah, besides that, we have Ferrari, Maserati, Fiat, Alfa Romeo, two continents. The next constant, I would like to invite Yaquan to continue to introduce Everyone about the country that's tend to
Out
develop
of
luxury brand.
195 countries in the world, the country with the most supercar is Luxembourg. The country is known for its wealth and many high earners live there. Luxembourg was named the richest country in the world 7 years ago and has a strong combination of high GDP, wealth, and tax break. With wealth flowing across the country, it's no surprise that there are so many supercar owners in Luxembourg, where a range of elite and luxury cars in the world and will continue to be produced. Luxembourg has a lot of people who can afford to buy these cars, which make the country a prime place to find many of the world's supercars. However, Luxembourg is only the second place and Qatar is the first place with a GDP per capita of $57,000. Most of its money comes from producing goods and providing service related to oil and gas, petrochemical, aluminum, and cement. Qatar is quite fond of luxury car and these owner tax-free wage, safe road condition, and easy financing are a few contributing factors. In this guide, we will explore why there's so many luxury cars in Qatar and how many people can afford them. Relatively affordable insurance compared to other countries in the world. Qatar has low insurance rate, especially if you have been driving for a long time. As a result, insuring your luxury car may be more expensive than a standard car, but it won't be the same price in Europe or North America. And with fuel cheaper than bottled water in most places, it's no longer Qatar is a supercar hotspot.
There are many car manufacturers today. Even so, the fact that the country produces a lot of cars does not mean that the country consumes and has a high car sale ratio. Countries that are famous all over the world for producing world-class supercars like Italy or Germany have sold a decrease in car sales compared to 2 years ago. In fact, there are two countries that are extremely notable in terms of car consumption. The first country is very familiar to us, the country with the amount of gold, special wealth, and fame brought from oil and gas trade, Dubai. Everyone must be familiar with the news about the wealth of Dubai rich. Famous car manufacturers for luxury such as Ferrari or Lamborghinis and also Bugatti have extremely impressive number of imports and sales in this country. Dubai is known as a paradise of supercar followers when you can easily see a Lamborghini, Bugatti, or also Rolls-Royce, the world's highest per capita income, and no tax make it quite easy to own a supercar here. A strange thing that only 5 to 7% of the population of Dubai own a supercar. The rest are foreign traders working in Dubai. That is why when the company goes bankrupt, merchants often forget their $1 million supercars. Supercar here is so redundant that isn't also equipped for another country people may not think about. A country with the largest car consumption in the world, not only supercar, China. The country has had an amazing percentage increase in car sales in the last 2 years, despite the serious epidemic in China and prolonged shortage of spare parts due to the impact of crisis. This is another turning point for China as people are afraid of using public transport, which is common in this country. Recently, it is known that the city in China actually promised the use of motorbicycles on the roads. So, in fact, Chinese people instead of choosing to ride a motorbike, they choose to take a public transport or buy their own car to move around the city. On road street, It's only when a people own a rapid car in China is considered successful and able to take care of his family. A citizen for choosing a marriage due to external as well as objective reasons. China, a developing country that excels in all aspects, has skyrocketed to become a country that consumes the most cars in the world.